They presented Willow tonight, you know, I mean, early on he was just outstanding, and then he sacrificed his game in the last quarter to sort of take Aussie Jones back to the goal square. So I think that's testament to, you know, to the professional job that they do.
How do you sum up this achievement given the season? You know, you were called ugly, the last couple of weeks of drama. How do you sum it up?
Oh, look, it's a phenomenal effort from the guys, you know, a phenomenal effort to be 2 and 4 and the cop from all barrels, and you know, I think from the coaching group as well, you know, the assistant coaches remaining steadfast in, you know, and probably being in Sydney it's a lot easier to do that. The players, yeah, just having faith in the coaching staff having faith in the players. You know, it's a great effort to get to a grand final. Yeah, I mean, I was always confident that he was going to play well. I thought he played okay last week, and he played okay the week before. I mean, I think Barry summed it up as best as anyone during the week. The only people that had been on his back were people from outside the club, and his teammates were happy with the way he was going. I was happy, and I spoke to him during the week about it. We felt probably once we saw the ground tonight, the game was going to be a little bit different to last week, you know, and even the week before. We thought it was going to be a bit more open, and there would be a bit more opportunity for the forwards, and it did sort of present itself that way.
Did you see the incident with Barry and Maguire in the first quarter?
No, I didn't. No, I mean, we don't get to see. I mean, we do have a tally, but you're focusing on a lot of other things.
It's obviously going to come under a lot of scrutiny. Are you worried that your distraction in the next couple of days?
Look, until I see it, it's probably impossible to make a comment.
Are you going to have to come up with a hypothetical alternative forward structure on the presumption that he might not play? Because if you don't, I mean, the tribunal won't be till Tuesday or whatever. Do you have to consider that?
Well, until, as I said, until you can see it, and I mean, it hasn't been reported, and he's obviously, you're indicating he's going to get reported. I don't know. I haven't seen the incident, so it's impossible for me to sort of tell.
What was your concern at three-quarter time when you went out to Barry and then sent him off to the umpires?
Oh, I just got a message from Jeff to send out the free kick count to the umpires, so I just thought I'd deliver that through Barry, who's the captain. You know, and I'm not sure whether they normally are made aware of it, but it was nice of Jeff to bring that to my attention.
So you took them on tonight, you came out and took them on. Was there ever any doubt that you were going to play the game in that way?
Well, like gets said, I think we get unfairly criticised, you know, at times, because last week's game, you know, is probably a reasonable example. With Geelong did a fantastic job of shutting us down. You know, I can't predict, and I'm not as smart as some people that predict it's going to be a 14-goal game or a 15-goal game. I don't know. I can't predict that. I'm not that smart. So, you know, we played tonight as we played for 3 years. And I think at one stage, you know, it was a low-scoring game. It was 9 to, I think they were 9 to 7 up, and, you know, it looked like maybe sort of 10, 11 goals would win the game. But that's been a bit of a pattern, I think, so far as well. That, you know, probably the 4 teams that were left were almost the 4 best defensive teams in the competition, and are very, very good at shutting the opposition down or taking them away from what they do very well. So, look, I couldn't really predict what the scoreline was going to be. We knew how we want to play every week. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Where do you think you won this game?
I think the midfield. I think just the fact that they really got us going. You know, they really started to win it around the stoppages. I thought our forwards started to work very, very hard in the last quarter and got to some ground balls. Third quarter, we weren't able to get the ground balls, and we went at a crumb. And, you know, there's some really good contests by our tall forwards, but our smalls weren't working up and back as we would have liked. Look, the last quarter was, you know, was fantastic. You know, to kick, I don't know how many we kick. 7. Yeah, I mean, kick 7 goals in a preliminary final to win a game of football. You've obviously got to doing a lot of things right. But I think the first 3 quarters probably set that up. The fact that they just kept at it and at it and at it and at it, and then we started to get the ball going our way, going forward, and we started to get some good reward for it.
What about Craig Bolton and Jared Crouch's effort on Milne and Reebok?
Oh, look, if you know, and I don't like singling out blokes, but if you took Leo Barry, Craig Bolton and Jared Crouch, I mean, their roles tonight were as significant as anyone on the ground. They were almost our 3 most important players, you know. I thought Leo was just phenomenal. Craig Bolton's effort and you know, 3 great goals, 61 goals, 70-something goals, and really widely acknowledged as the best player in the comp. Outstanding.
How do you expect the victory to be received in Sydney?
I think they'll be reasonably happy. So
now the build-up.
Oh, look, judging on last week, the Sydney people have been unbelievably supportive, you know, and the media's been fantastic throughout the whole season. The coverage we've been getting of late, you know, after Davo's winning goal last week. I mean, the city, I got a fax from Johnny Raper, legend rugby league. during the week, I rang him, spoke to him. He said, look, we'll be watching on Friday night. Well, look, there's no doubt that everyone in Sydney wants...
You know, we've just got to take responsibility for it. I need to take responsibility as coach, and, you know, I could have done much better than I did. And, you know, the playing group needs to take responsibility, and we just need to learn from it. I mean, Sydney have played 8 of the last 10 final series. We've played the last 2. You know, it's another learning experience for us, and we need to learn from it. And at this elite level, if you don't bring the level of competitiveness for 100% of the time, you'll be exposed, and we've known that, and it's what we've hung our hat on. And I think, you know, we've earned a reputation as being a very hard and tough side over the last 8 or 10 weeks, and, you know, different stages in the last year or two, and unfortunately we're just found desperately wanting in the last quarter. And I think full credit goes to Sydney. They just wanted it more. They were far more desperate, far more committed, much more disciplined, stuck to their tasks, and got the breaks and went on with the job.
Was the feeling you got at the three-quarter time huddle what you expected? I mean, was there any sign there that, you know, that they were struggling, or that perhaps they were in front and thought they were going to go on with it? Did they have the resolve you thought they should have had it ready for the last quarter?
It's a difficult one. I mean, at the time, no, but maybe on reflection, Rowan, it's, you know, a couple of the other coaches were thinking that they didn't see the level of steel that they've come to expect, but I wasn't aware of that, and that's something I have to take responsibility for. But having said that, that's easy in retrospect. I mean, we've been very similar to that on many occasions, and they've had a good understanding about what they can do and what they can achieve. But unfortunately, the guys who were winning their position or playing well in the last quarter just didn't get their hands on the ball, and our midfield was smashed in the last quarter, our key players. And, you know, I think they had 7 forward 50 entries in the first half of the last quarter for 7 goals. I mean, that's a 100% record, and you know, we had about the same entries for 3 behinds or whatever, and you know, I think under the intense pressure, we succumbed, unfortunately, and that's something we've got to take account for and responsibility for. And this was always going to be a game of perseverance, and Sydney persevered longer.
How are you going to look at this year as a whole? I mean, you've finished at the same week you did last year, but you've done it under a lot more duress this year. I mean, you're still without your best lineup on the park. Are you going to, when you're looking at this, say this has been a good effort by us, or we're still not good enough?
Well, clearly we're not good enough yet.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think we would have had a different result in the last quarter. You know, late in the third, we're 13 points up, and with about 2 minutes to go, and they got that last goal. And but irrespective, the challenge was to win the last quarter. That's all we needed to really do, and we stopped doing the things we had been doing for the previous 2 quarters, and they took their chances. And from a year's perspective, it's a little bit early for me to sort of speculate on that, but look, the club's given itself a chance, being in the last 4, and these are where the rubber meets the road. You know, these penultimate games are the classic tests of mental toughness, of teamship, of character, and all those sorts of things. And we're developing that, and we're getting better at it. And I think this year, the playing group has done an enormous job that they probably haven't got the credit and respect that I think that they deserve personally. I think they've done an enormous job under consideration for obvious circumstances, but we've hung our hat on the fact that personnel won't matter, and it's effort. And for whatever reason, we just weren't able to continue with that mentality right to the end.
Traditionally, the team that has a week's break is said to be favoured, but did it work against your team, do you think, because you didn't have that edge, like a hard edge that Sydney had probably last week?
Well, in retrospect, that's probably a valid valid comment, but I would much rather have been in the position we were in. I mean, you know, we played probably one of the best games for some time that I can remember last week against Adelaide, in Adelaide, and so we were very pleased to be in the position we were in to win that game and have a week's break. But this is what we need to do. We need to revisit our preparation and revisit everything we did to see whether we did everything from a coaching perspective. And first of all, I'm the coach, so I have to take responsibility for the performance. And you know, I could have coached better, and I know I could have. But you know, by the same token, it's something we need to share, and we need to learn, and we need to grow together.
How could you have coached better, do you think?
Look, I just felt that we were, you know, we were reactive a bit too much, and there were some other things in hindsight that you know, we probably could have done better. But I'm not going to sit here and you know, the playing group is going through a fair amount of grief and disappointment, and I can't sit here and say that from my perspective everything's honky-dory. We've got to take the good with the bad, and you know, I need to accept responsibility and the due criticism for the fact that the St Kilda Football Club hasn't taken the next step that we needed to take.
Are you going to try and persuade Rob Harvey to play another year if he knows to be persuaded?
I won't persuade anyone to do anything. That's the last thing that we'll be doing as a club. I think Rob's shown that he could easily play another season, but it's entirely up to him. He needs to understand whether he has the mental edge to continue. I know his body's good enough, and if he's prepared to go again, well, that's something we'll sit down with Rob and talk about, but we won't be persuaded.